I won't take you to the stars. Use the metal for a boat and you won't sail too far. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal pots about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin, 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 pin. Science can be tricky, it can overheat your brain. Science can be hard to chew, each bite can be a pain. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal pots about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin, 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 pin. The secret pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin, 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 pin.
So what is it that you all find out in this daggum space, huh? Romance? Adventure? What kind of romance is there out here, for the love of Pete? We're muddling about in this emptiness like a teaspoon in a glass. As if we solved all the problems on Earth, huh? As if it were better to cultivate new ground or something.
How, pardon me, old-fashioned of you. Our universe is amazing and beautiful, and our Earth is merely a cradle out of which mankind should have long ago climbed out of.
Earth isn't a cradle, it's a home. A home which protects us from all the universe's dangers. Space is a real hotbed of various cruel and dangerous things. Let's take the sun, for example. It's thousands of degrees. It would fry us up and not even notice. And that's not even the brightest star in the universe. And then there's nasty things in space like space radiation. Streams of particles from stars and other radioactive gunk. We can't even see it, and it might be getting a lethal dose. I'm not even mentioning meteorites and comets darting around the universe here and there. But the Earth protects us from all these troubles with an atmosphere and a magnetic field. The atmosphere keeps the sun from frying us up, while keeping the warmth in so we don't freeze at night. Comets and meteorites can't even get to us because they burn up in our atmosphere like nothing doing. And the magnetic field protects us from space radiation. And most importantly, the Earth has air. In space, it's just a vacuum with nothing but misfortune. We're strangers out here in space, you understand? And strangers we will always be.
I think I know what's making you so upset, my negative friend. It's that you've never been out in open space.
What's there that I haven't seen already?
If you spend all the time, as you say, muddling about inside the sphere jet, then you can't truly judge the universe's true beauty. Spacesuit mode on. Let's go outside right now, shall we? And you'll see just how fantastic open space really is.
I don't want to. That is, I have plenty to do inside the sphere jet. And anyways, I don't have any time. I've been sitting here too long already.
Spacesuit mode on. I've got an idea. Computer, turn off artificial gravity.
Gravity is turned off.
Quiet, you're waking up. Wake up, my space-hating friend. Surprise! Now you can experience to your heart's content all this true beauty.
Mercy
What's the
me!
matter?
I'm in space! Why?
Relax.
Whoa,
You're
whoa.
totally safe. I didn't know that you had a phobia about space. How come? Why didn't you tell me earlier? There's no reason to be ashamed of your fears. You should tell your friends about them, and it will be much easier. I, for example, have an irrational fear about speaking in foreign languages. Weird, no?
You see, every night since we started conquering the universe here, I have the same dream every night. I am in open space. All around are various stars and nebulae. And then something happens. Something like a short circuit. And then I understand that's it. Every night, the same thing.
But that's just a dream. Space in reality is not really that harmful for organisms like us. One of the most common misconceptions about space is that it's really cold there, and that means an unprotected organism would instantaneously turn into ice. That's not true. In reality, space is made up of a vacuum, and vacuums are one of the best thermal insulators there are. It's for good reason they're used in thermoses. Therefore, it would take a long time for our bodies to cool down, and some simple athletic exercises would keep us from freezing altogether. There's a much higher possibility not of freezing, but of being overheated in some stars' radioactive rays. But if you're far enough away from them, then there's nothing to be scared of. Another myth about space is that it will inflate you from the inside due to internal pressure. But the difference in external pressure between the Earth's surface and open space is only 1 atmosphere, and that's not very much. An increase in pressure of 1 atmosphere is what a diver would feel descending to a depth of 10 meters. And our bodies could withstand that without any harm. The most important thing is to exhale to avoid unnecessary pressure on the lungs. Truthfully, in the absence of pressure, there are other dangers. As it happens, liquids boil faster than at lower pressures. Therefore, in a vacuum, it will boil almost instantly. And if liquids inside an organism are protected by our internal pressure, then external liquids will evaporate immediately. Therefore, that tongue in space will soon dry up. So, taking into account the lack of air, we could easily last in space at least a couple minutes. Of course, you'd lose consciousness after about 10 seconds, but the likelihood of survival is much higher than, for example, molten lava from a volcano.
Get me back to Earth. I feel more comfortable in my cradle. Well, let's take a break. Before we go, then.
There's no need to take a quick break for anything. I looked into Spherescope and discovered one very useful invention from the future. It's called Antiphobe. 1 injection of this and you'll be rid of all your phobias and fears.
Uh-huh. Along with your life, too.
No, not at all. There's no threat to your health whatsoever.
Get that thingamajig away from me.
Science should be trusted. Look here, nothing bad will happen at all.
Taco. Are you okay?
Parlez-vous français? Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Kazakh nie siedzi? Hola, mi llamo Doko. ¿Cómo estás?
Taco, where are you going?
Mon crayon est grand et jaune. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Hey, where are you going?
Voglio un pizza pepperoni. Добро пожаловать в Москву.
Wait, will you please give it
Je
a
ne
rest?
comprends pas, je vais bien. Ja, das ist fantastisch. Homo homini lupus es. Regime Skafander. Hugi isayo opa Gangnam Style.
Hey, quit fooling around.
Por favor, hable más despacio. Yo no comprendo. Oh.
Daco, over. Come back here immediately.
Jerefe, quitos.
Computer, bring him back immediately.
Incorrect request. Spherejet is not equipped with external tools.
Non parlo molto bene italiano. Ripeta, per favore, arrivederci.
And where did you go, you linguistic disaster?
Surprise!
Attention. Danger. Spacesuit is depressurizing. Return to ship immediately. Attention.
Daco!
Danger.
Spacesuit's mode
Attention.
on!
Danger.
What the heck is this?
Spacesuit is
Okay,
depressurizing.
I'm coming!
Return to ship
Already!
immediately.
Hold on!
Attention. Danger.
Dang you.
So, taking into account the lack of air, we could easily last in space at least a couple minutes. Of course, you'd lose consciousness after about 10 seconds, but the likelihood of survival is much higher than, for example, molten lava from a volcano.
Are you awake yet, polyglot? How do you feel?
Why am I tied down? This is embarrassing.
Pardon-moi, monsieur. I'll be right back to untie you. I'm just gonna fly around. It's so beautiful out here that it hurts. I'll be darned. Open space.
Maybe we should just blow it up?
Daco, stop with this nonsense.
I said that I'm staying here inside and that it's for everyone's safety.
But maybe it's time to think about your own safety. No need to starve yourself out, is there?
I'll leave it by the doorway, please, and step back to a safe distance away.
No more at the doorway, only in exchange for an explanation. What's going on with you?
Oh, okay. Come in at your own risk, then.
Okay, so what's the matter here?
It's all about one amazing quantum experiment. It's opened my eyes. In the world of atomic particles, strange things happen. For example, quantum light photons behave like waves. On the other hand, like particles. What kind of picture will we see on a photosensitive screen if we direct a photon beam on it through two slits?
Two stripes?
Nope. In this experiment, photons act like waves. Their vibrations through the two slits intersect and accumulate, and therefore the picture on the screen looks a little different. And this is a normal occurrence. But what if instead of a beam we direct one photon after another? Then we shouldn't see any waves intersecting and accumulating, and we should theoretically see two stripes on the screen. Amazingly, but even directing single photons onto the screen, we will still see the same picture. It's as if the photons are flying simultaneously through both slits, behaving like waves and intersecting and accumulating with themselves.
That's some kind of quantum mystery. Can the photons truly multiply themselves?
Of course not.
What if we try to determine through which slit the photon flies through? What if we install some kind of detector?
And that's the amazing part. Once we install a detector and determine through which slit the photon flew, then the picture changes and only two stripes remain. This experiment proves that observation affects the position of quantum particles in open space. Think about it. It appears that specifically we assign form to this world with all of its rules, physical laws, and cooperation.
Okay, so what? I like this world.
Me too. But it turns out that any one of us could change it with as much as the strength of his imagination.
Why hasn't anyone done this yet then?
Because nobody until now knew that it was possible. You see, I've covered the walls of my room with an anti-imagination layer so that I don't give in to any temptation.
Let's pretend what you say is true. But you're not going to harm the universe with just your imagination.
You don't know me well enough. When I was little, I was an extremely bad-mannered and even destructive child. If you could see my childhood drawings, you'd see what kinds of worlds my imagination drew. I've changed a lot since then, of course, and I've even re-educated myself. But who knows what my subconscious is capable of?
So what? You're just going to sit here for all time? Because of some childhood drawings?
It's the only way.
Ugh.
So how's our patient doing?
I don't even know what to say. Is it true you can change something by the power of your own thought? Spin. Forever.
Hey, you there! On board the ship! Don't stop! Let me dock!
Welcome, space colleague, on board the Sphere Jet.
Daco! Hey, Daco! Where are you, buddy?
He found me.
Oh, and would you happen to be a relative of our Daco? You look strikingly similar.
I'm so much more than a relative. I'm his clone. So fess up, Birdman. Where have you hidden my Dockster?
You see, Doko thought he could change the universe with the power of thought.
What?
Stop! I made this clone in some of my darker years, when I was still a young slacker and nobody wanted to be my friend. So I made a copy of myself. We were like a gang.
Yeah, we stirred up things big time. Cool.
There's nothing great about it. I have since then become a better person, unlike you.
Oh, stop your droning. I don't appreciate it.
You see? He can't learn about our secret.
Wait a second. Are you serious about that or something? Just like that, I can think up anything I want? Like some kind of magician?
What? Why did you tell him about everything?
Oh, seems like I came at just the right time.
Don't even think about changing anything.
I wasn't asking you. I can mess up the entire universe now.
I will not allow you to do that.
Friends, why don't we calm down and have a little tea to drink?
Back off, Birdman, or I'll have to calm you down. Now, what can I mess up that's more interesting? Oh! How about smashing up that lamp over there?
No, the light bulb will stay intact.
Okay, I was just checking you. Why waste my powers on such nonsense? Now I'll choose something a little more fun. I don't understand anything, but it seems like something epic's about to happen.
What is this?
Let the number for pi be equal to 4.
How awful. No, let the number pi be equal to 3.14.
You like that, huh? Then let's let the phrase rule of thumb no longer apply to the hand, but to the foot instead.
Let it be like it was earlier.
What kind of quantum physics is this? As if there weren't enough other problems around.
E equals MC cubed. Ha ha ha.
You're insane. E equals MC squared.
Spherescope. Spherescope.
And I say E equals MC cubed.
E equals MC squared.
No way. Cubed, 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 cubed.
Stop it right now.
Protons rotate around electrons.
Electrons rotate around protons.
Oh boy, this looks like the most boring battle of good and evil in all of history.
How do I ask this? explain please how photons behave so strangely in that experiment with 2 slits and someone watching. Could you somehow explain in simpler terms, maybe?
All right, Daco. That's it. If you don't want to do this the easy way, then we'll do it the hard way.
Chico, let's bolt.
Electricity doesn't exist.
Electricity does exist.
If electricity exists, then we both die an electro death.
So be it. But I won't allow you to run amok in my universe.
Oh, maybe we should stop them.
How? If they can change the universe with just the power of thoughts. Can't stop that.
Friends, stop this buffoonery, please. I found out that not everything works like Daco thinks it does.
Don't make me angry, Birdman, or I'll turn you into a frog. Ribbit,
Stop
ribbit.
this now!
Doc, you're a loser. Together we could control the entire universe.
Not in present company. Relax, guys. Quantum physics doesn't work the way like you want it to. The quantum world and all its relationships arose long before the appearance of our civilization. And it's not about to change just because of a few observers, who incidentally also consist of quantum particles. Quantum particles are neither spheres nor waves. Those are only approximations to describe them mathematically and envision them somehow. But we'll never be able to imagine what they actually look like because we'll never see anything remotely similar in our macro world. And of course, in the quantum world, our normal logic doesn't work. Different rules apply here, and they can't be understood using our experience. What's firing the photons, the plate with the slits, the photosensitive screen? These are all parts of one system. The particles behave themselves identically, irregardless of whether they are fired one by one or in a stream. From this, we get the identical wave pattern on the screen. And when the observer is introduced, he also becomes a part of the system and just brings about a change in the result. Logically, it's not possible to understand quantum physics. We can only use it. But that it's impossible to change the universe with the power of your thoughts, I can guarantee you. Phenomenal. A weight lifted from my shoulders. The universe is now safe.
Yeah, what a joke. You nerds are boring me to death. Your physics is about nothing, and so is your universe. Yeah, and you, Daco, you're as boring as a textbook. Ugh. Whatever. It's all good. Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, until my clone changes, he seems doomed to be very lonely. It's hard to disagree with that, my friend.
Wow, look! How long do you think it can spin for?
Well, like I said, in quantum physics, there's still a lot that's unexplained.
Daco! Tell the truth, Daco. Have you ever had to feel real fear? You know, genuine fear.
Yes, literally just now.
We understand each other. Where does this fear originate from?
Well, if you legitimately want to know, fear is a part of lives from which there is no escape. Fear is felt by all intelligent beings, from animals to insects, and according to some studies, plants. Fear is a feeling that unites everyone on the planet.
What do we need it for?
Ah, Well, fear is a true gift from evolution. It's specifically due to fear that our ancestors were able to escape many prehistoric dangers. Insofar as no one back then could brag about an overabundance of intelligence, the ones who survived were the ones who were more careful. Or we could say more cowardly and afraid. Since then, much has changed. Man became more clever, built a more comfortable and relatively safer world, and fear is no longer necessary for survival, even if unfortunately we haven't gotten rid of it. Not to mention that, with our intelligence growing, we have new fears not directly related to any threat to our health. We're afraid to make important decisions or be rejected. We fear criticism and failure and public speaking and a lot of other harmless things. But since our reactions to fear remain the same, our bodies propose dealing with fear in the oldest way: running away. It's not clear that fear serves any useful purpose and might only make life more difficult.
Thank you for the lecture, but the question was rhetorical.
What's bothering you so much?
Rosa, it's time we grab the bull by the horns. No, maybe the ram. We can't keep going like this. You're attractive. I'm incredibly handsome. No, that's unnecessary. I'm gonna try and improvise this. Rosa. Wow. And that's when it begins. At first, a total stupor. I can't say anything at all. Then my knees start shaking, and my heart's beating like crazy, and I get goosebumps all over. And it's the same way every time.
Wally, in 5 minutes, you'll be an absolutely different person, without fear and beyond reproach.
With no fear and beyond reproach?
You definitely will thank me. I'm going to change your manifestation of fear.
I'll stop being afraid?
No, science can't do that, but you'll be afraid in a different way.
What's the point?
All right, first a little theory, though. Packaged together with the feeling of fear are 3 possible reactions to fright. This is flight, aggression, and worst of all, stupor. On top of this, the body launches a corresponding process, like, for example, an increase in heart rate to facilitate better circulation to the muscles. The body also starts producing adrenaline, a hormone which gives us strength and flexibility. Unfortunately, it also makes us shake and go pale, as well as feel like we have an empty stomach when we're scared. This is because adrenaline redirects blood from the skin and stomach to the muscles and brain, which are more important in a moment of danger than having, for example, a healthy blush. To stay alive, we're ready to sacrifice our hairstyle. Our hairs stand on end in order to make us visually appear more threatening in the eyes of an opponent. Additionally, our blood's clotting ability also increases so that we can better endure any wounds. And the acidity of our stomach acid increases to more quickly digest food and increase our blood sugar and energy levels. And hearing and seeing become much sharper. All of these superpowers work quite well when you need to fight or run, but alas, are not as good when you're trying to ask a woman out on a date. My friend, in the future, they learn to change these manifestations of fear to more convenient ones. For example, instead of wanting to run, you dance instead.
It sounds a little weird.
Well, with your hardy constitution, you'll get used to it very quickly.
What kind of constitution?
All right, let's get started.
Did it work?
Let's check and see.
What different types of new feelings?
It really worked.
Rosa, we need to talk.
What's the matter with you?
Don't pay any attention to that. I've long wanted to ask you to dance. That is to say, what the heck's going on? It's worse now than it was before.
Yes, maybe we got too excited with the dances.
Maybe we can do it so that when I'm afraid, I don't know, maybe I have a better mood.
It worked.
Rosa! Oh! Pagliaccio, suo amore, el pranto. Make everything like it used to be. At least my old habits of fear I was used to. But now I even miss them.
It's too bad that you've given up so quickly. Huh? Did you even hear what I just said to you?
Well, yes. But because of the accident, I can no longer feel any fear. All the better.
Yeah, probably.
What are you doing with the electrical stuff? Everything's short-circuited. I said, who will fix the iron?
You know, I'm no longer afraid to admit anything to you. But that's not even necessary now. I don't feel anything to you.
What in the heck was all that?
My fearless friend, your technique is of course surprising.
Maybe.
I beg you, rethink this. You no longer have any instinct for survival. This is very dangerous.
It's dangerous for those who fear danger. But for me... that's all past.
You waking up, Mr. Extreme Sports? I see you have no fear of anything anymore.
Rosa, you're such a... It's back!
Who's back?
My fear, it's back! Now I need to check. I need to tell something to you. There they are! My goosebumps! And my knees are shaking! And my heart. Can you feel my heart?
Wally, I think you should probably lie down.
I have to tell you, you are the most. No, I can't. No, I'm scared.
Wally, get into bed immediately.
I'm afraid. What a wonderful feeling. I'm petrified. I'm just petrified.
He's mad, but he's so handsome.
Friends, attention. Can anybody hear me?
I do. I hear you. Help me. It appears I've gone blind.
You're not the only one.
Not the only one. What is this? An epidemic? We're doomed.
Wally, stop it. No one's gone blind. It's just that thing that buzzed and gave us light is no longer buzzing.
The generator. That was our generator.
No big deal. Now we just need to find an alternative source of light.
I've already found one. Before they turned the light off, I was doing a crossword where one of the clues was alternative source of light, 10 letters, flashlight. Ha!
Excellent. Now it would be good if we could find one in real life.
To heck with this flashlight. Pin will be able to fix everything and we'll be all hunky-dory.
Well, I'll try.
There you go. Consider it fixed already. When Pin sets out to fix something...
Hey! I've got... Ah!
What's happened to Pin?
Oh, Pin. Oh, I'm okay. I just got electrocuted a little bit. Let me just rest a little, and then we'll continue.
My friend, I think one try is more than enough.
But it did almost work. And it even became brighter for a while. And no flashlights were even needed.
Crash, tell us what you've done with the flashlights.
And why is it always Crash? Anything at all could have happened to them.
Crash and I were playing Star Wars. We needed to have lightsabers.
Yeah, we were playing. What else is there to do here? Bumping around, you understand? Around this Venus, neither here nor there, near or far, and nowhere, you know.
So what happened to the flashlights?
What do you mean? You know how quickly these lightsabers need fixing? Like almost immediately.
All right, we know what happened to the flashlights then. I seem to recall we also had some candles.
You remembered the candles. But you forgot about my birthday last month, didn't you?
I don't see the connection.
You put candles into the birthday girl's cake, then you light them, make a wish, and blow them out. It's kind of a tradition, you know.
But you still have candles left.
You do if you only have one wish. If you make a lot of wishes, you relight them and then make more wishes.
All right, we know what happened to the candles too.
Any other suggestions then?
Well, all that's left to do is wait until our eyes adjust to the dark then.
Neato! Is that a superpower of yours or something?
Not just for me. In today's world, we've become accustomed to lighting everywhere and for everything. As soon as we stumble across some kind of dark corner, we're tripping over ourselves to install a lamp and shed more light there. But it wasn't always that way. Our ancestors were dependent on natural sources of light, and therefore lived half their lives in the dark. And of course, nature made sure to supply us with the necessary organs for sight. In the human eye, there are approximately 130 million cells reacting to light. In bright light, only about 7 million of them work. These are called cone cells. All of the rest, over 120 million of them, are called rods. We use them in low lighting. To activate a cone, you need a few hundred photon particles. But for a rod, just one photon is enough.
But if we have over 120 million of these rod thingies, we should be able to see in the dark really good.
Of course we should, if we allow the eye to get used to the dark. When we turn off the lights in a brightly lit room, at first we can't make anything out at all. But 5 minutes later, the eye's sensitivity to light increases by 30%. To completely become adjusted to the dark can take up to approximately 3 hours. But you can speed this process up by breathing deeply and increasing oxygen to the brain. Vision will adjust to the dark more quickly. Another option is to rinse the face and back of the neck with cold water. Or eat something sweet. Anything with vitamin A will do. For example, carrots.
I don't even know which option I would choose. Hey!
Something just touched me!
What was it?
1,000 pardons. That was me. It's just you were so quiet and I was a little disoriented.
We were waiting for our eyes to get used to the dark. Where were you?
When the lights went out, I was in the laboratory. I was researching that substance which we found on Venus. I didn't have time to get all the analyses results back, but it looks like we found this solar system's first living organism.
Cool. Is this thing dangerous at all?
Ha! Not likely. We're talking about utterly tiny microorganisms.
But what? If they grow in the darkness and start silently moving around the sphere jet?
Crash! Stop it!
Well, that would be a very interesting scientific phenomenon.
So it could actually be possible.
Generally, of course, it's unlikely.
But it's still possible.
Friends, let's not work ourselves into a panic. Daco undoubtedly closed the doors to the laboratory, so in any case, we're completely out of harm's way.
Well, actually, those laboratory doors don't close.
You mean that thing could already be out here with us? Quiet! Did anybody else hear that strange sound?
What is that?
I don't like that noise at all.
It sounds like claws scraping along the wall. What kind of claws on the wall? We're in zero gravity. And what if this thing can move along the walls, even without any gravity?
Are you worried about the scratching sound? Those are my knitting needles. Just a few more loops and I'll stop, I promise.
It was just knitting?
And we thought it was
Well, it's great that we explained that, and that this thing from Venus probably only exists in our minds.
And what were we scared of? In this darkness, it'd be just as helpless as we are.
Well, about that, I'm afraid I can't agree. Some animals, as a result of difficult habitation requirements, have become accustomed to relying not just on their vision. Take the shark, for example, which spends a good portion of its time in the dark. Sharks compensate for the lack of visibility with magnificent olfactory skills. They are extremely sensitive to smells and can sense their prey from considerable distances. Other underwater inhabitants, like crocodiles, for the same purposes, use very sensitive whiskers, capable of sensing vibrations in the water from dozens of meters away from the source. Other types of animals, such as several types of snakes, use thermolocation. This is the name for the ability to distinguish in open areas items with different temperatures. It's extremely helpful in complete darkness. But it's probably bats, which have the best help. They emit an audio signal which reflects off surrounding objects and returns. The bat catches these waves and creates a picture of the surrounding area with almost the same precision as we do with light. This trait is called echolocation.
So you mean something can see us, when we can't see anything at all?
Well, theoretically, you can't exclude that possibility.
Olga, hey, can you stop for a minute from all your knitting? That constant scratch sound is getting to me.
I finished ages ago.
Oh, something's touching me again.
This time it's not me.
Oh, something just touched me too.
It's the thing! It's here! It's among us! It's watching us! and
Nobody
it's
panic.
scraping! I'm almost fully adjusted to the dark! I can see him!
Yeah, I see it too. It has tentacles.
Oh, mercy me!
We'll just catch it then! Chico, go around to its left!
Okay, where is that?
Oh, help me!
Don't use any violence. This might be an intelligent being. Let's not embarrass all of Earth.
Be careful, it might not be sterile.
Let me out of here, or I'll definitely embarrass something! Ha! I got him! Ah, something's got me! Ah!
My diplomatic friends, please try to avoid starting any intergalactic scandals.
I've got it by the tentacles.
Who's here? Don't touch me!
What the heck's going on?
Stay calm.
Hey! No! That's my ear!
Sphere jet systems activated. Energy source, solar power. Switching to artificial gravity.
This thing from Venus. Where is it?
It ran off back to the world of fantasy.
Well, at least we won't be embarrassed before any of our fellow intelligent space beings.
That's for sure, my friend. That's for sure.
What good stars. Bright and beautiful. Interesting. But am I good or bad?
The question, I believe, is rhetorical.
Nine! It's a very serious question. I never do any bad things. And why? Because I was raised that way. Or maybe something's holding me back inside.
Your conscience, maybe.
And who is it, this conscience? How does he determine what's good and what's not so good?
We're not going to get through this without an espresso machine.
Oh, forget your silly machine. I really need to resolve this.
My friend, is there really any need to get upset? You've had integrity since the day you were born. It's us, ordinary mortals, who are forced to struggle between right and wrong.
Light, dark, good and evil. So many riddles. Oh, spheroscope. Tell me about the nature of light and darkness.
Light is a type of energy which we can see. Our eye sees a spectrum from red to violet. Therefore, our picture of the world depends on a substance's physical properties and its relation to the light in the optical spectrum. If we were able to see ultraviolet rays, then glass would not seem transparent to us. After all, ultraviolet rays cannot penetrate glass, and the world would look completely awkward in infrared light.
So what is this light made of then?
It's not possible to categorically answer that question. On the one hand, light can be considered to be an electromagnetic wave. On the other hand, light is a stream of particles. These particles are called photons, and they have their own energy and zero mass.
Compression. Right. Oh my God.
So how's the research coming along into good and evil?
You what? Oh, that! That can wait. I learned so many interesting things about this light.
There you go. Seems we did okay without the espresso machine.
This needs to be implemented immediately. Eins, zwei, ankles away! Compression! I must tell everyone about this.
Oakley dokley. And now we have the cleanest in the entire universe lollipop.
Holy carrots!
Look, my friend, I've performed an incredible experiment.
96% pure lollipop.
Hey, invisible pin is much more interesting.
Ear-twistingly good.
Now I'll show you something that's truly ear-twisting. There we go. Now that's...
Uh-oh, are lollipops capable of doing that?
My sweet-tooth friend, how could you be so careless in your handling and preparation of these compounds and mixtures?
And why are you blaming me?
Well, it wasn't me.
Well, I never... That was very entertaining. Here's someone who'll appreciate my invention. Rosa, it's me, Pin. Just a little invisible. Look at the glass. It's flying all by itself.
Wow, cool! A flying glass!
Go, Rosa. I didn't mean to.
Have you gone mad?
It wasn't me!
Who then? Was it me? Stop! That wasn't funny at all! What a nice hobby.
I think for now, I won't tell anyone about my invisibility hat. It's so much fun!
What was that?
But it wasn't me!
You think it was me or something?
Get tired of this.
Finn! Here you are! Maybe you can help, huh?
Ja, natürlich. What do you need?
I need a pair of really strong handcuffs, or maybe a cage. Yeah, a cage would be better, I think. You know, to be absolutely sure. You know?
What for?
You see, I've been doing all sorts of bad things around here lately. The thing that bugs me about it is I don't even remember doing them. Like, not long ago, I apparently put glue in Dako's shoes.
Yeah, that's always a really funny one to do.
Well, no, not really. And I even, not too long ago, placed a thumbtack on Rose's chair.
You want to say that that was also a bad trick?
Oh, it was okay, I guess. What can you expect from a goof-off like me?
Oh.
If only I could remember what I've done.
But
maybe
you...
I'm sleepwalking? Or maybe I even have multiple personalities?
No, mein Gott. What is it that I've done?
So what? Do you think you can help? I think a cage with a lock is a great solution.
We don't need any kind of cage. Everything will be fine. I promise it to you. Why was I good before? Because I didn't have an invisibility hat. It's easy being good when everyone can see you, and vice versa. I could refrain. Forgive me, please.
My friend, it's quite touching to try to take all the blame, but to believe that you were responsible for all that is impossible.
No, integrity was built into your genes, I think.
It appears that 9.
And this story about an invisibility hat is, forgive me, simply unscientific.
But it's true. I'll explain the principles of my work. We already know that our atoms consist of a nucleus and electron, but there's much more free space in an atom than anything else. If an atom was a giant whale, then its nucleus would be the size of a pea in its stomach, and the electrons would be tiny grains of sand on its skin. When I learned how much free space there was inside an atom, I thought that through such an empty and hole-filled atom of photon would easily fly through and everything in the world would be transparent. But this just isn't true. And that's because when a photon goes through an atom, it has to take the electron and shift it from a lower energy level to a higher one. If the difference between levels is not great and the photon is strong, then it easily shifts the electron and is immediately absorbed. That's why light doesn't pass right through an atom. That's how atoms of any opaque subject work. So how does light pass through transparent objects? The atoms just have a far greater distance between their energy levels. The photons try to shift the electron to a higher level, but it can't, so it continues through until it's passed through all the atoms. And in liquids and organic bodies, it's even more complicated. In addition to the electrons orbiting around, the molecules themselves are vibrating, flying here and there, rotating and changing. Through that field, it's incredibly difficult for photons to go through. But I thought up a way to increase the difference in the energy levels of my atoms and reduce the molecule vibration, so the photons wouldn't get absorbed, and Pin became invisible. Invisible and very bad.
Neat! Can I see this thing?
I already destroyed it.
Oh, and I almost believed you.
Okay, I'll prove that I can be bad. Right, I'll take that and throw it at someone, and I will be laughing.
And?
I can't do it, because you're all watching me.
That is exactly what we were proving.
Just what I needed, proving Pin's good.
Well, it seems everything worked out all right. I can't even walk at all. Now everyone can be completely safe.
Crash, how about you doing an act of some real goodness?
Come on.
A moment of your attention.
Hey, Pin, what's with you today?
That was phenomenal.
Yeah, that's all me. Ha! I'm very bad penguin.